Hello everyone, my name is Tristan and I am here to tell you a story. When I was 14 years old, I volunteered for a music camp. My job was to supervise kids and to teach other kids how to play the guitar. I first heard about this job from my parents, and since I wanted volunteering experience, I agreed to do the job. On the first day, I remember walking into the main room with kids smiling at me while strumming guitars and singing. It made me feel good to help out, teaching kids about the wonders of music. Then I realized that not only did it make me feel good to help, it made the kids feel good to learn from me, which is always pleasant. When I went to go apply for my first job at Save On Foods, and asked me if I had any experience volunteering, I told them I volunteered at a music camp. It was that story that got me hired at Save On Foods. The fact that the camp had volunteers who wouldn't want money for their services made the company happy, as they would not lose economically. Anyways, most businesses that practice today's topic often experience social benefits, economic benefits, and environmental benefits. That's right, it's CSR, baby, or corporate social responsibility. And my partner in crime that will help me explain CSR is my dear friend Neil or Sanji.
Now, we have to ask, what is corporate social responsibility, or CSR? CSR is essentially the idea that businesses have an obligation to be philanthropic in their operations. A large part of being a corporation that is also socially responsible is that it has to be able to hear the opinions of stakeholders and actually take them into consideration when making those decisions. We'll talk a little bit more about stakeholder theory moving forward. One of the biggest motivators for why companies are now moving towards exercising CSR is the trend that consumers are actually taking. Consumers don't just crave for good products anymore. They actually want to buy these products from a good company, a moral and ethical company. They want to know where their product is coming from and how it's being produced. Tristan will now explain how companies are benefiting from being socially responsible.
Here are some of the following ways that businesses can benefit from practicing CSR or corporate social responsibility. Number one, often companies that practice CSR are often painted in a more positive light than those who do not. Another benefit of practicing CSR is that employee satisfaction will increase and company loyalty is often increased, as a business's reputation is increased between its customer and the brand itself. Another positive about business practicing CSR is it is easier to market. If something was good for the environment and is more environmentally sustainable than its competitors such as oil, the business can market it towards those who want cleaner oil. Finally, the last point about businesses that engage in CSR are the increase of sustainability of the company, and those businesses often appeal to younger consumers such as millennials or Gen Zers, as millennials are often more conscious about the environment. So, if a company shows corporate social responsibility, target towards that demographic, and it can be expand on business opportunities.
So, as we had touched on before, stakeholder theory is an important piece of corporate social responsibility. Edward Freeman wrote a pretty influential book in 1984 that really set the foundation of the modern day definition of. With that being said, let's cover the three umbrella categories that businesses tend to impact. Those three categories are the community, the environment, and the marketplace. By being socially responsible, communities will benefit from the growth of a positive culture. After all, an effective community is a happy community. The environment would benefit from efforts like reducing pollutants, promoting sustainable operations, or donating to charitable organizations dedicated to helping restore the environment. The marketplace benefits in a large way as well. By leading the way to a more responsible method of doing business, other companies will join in the trend of becoming more socially responsible. It's just good for everyone. So really, as you can see, these three categories are heavily interdependent and they're quite connected. Now, pretty soon, we'll look at how the NFL participates in being corporate.
So, the history of the NFL. In 1920, the NFL was founded in Canton, Ohio by Jim Thorpe. Now, travel along here. 1922, the NFL officially became the NFL, and it was originally known as the American Professional Football Association, or the APFA. In 1932, the NFL implemented a divisional league, and until 1940, African Americans were not allowed to participate in the NFL. In 1967, the NFL and the AFL merged and formed a major competition known as the Super Bowl, and include 24 teams from all over the United States. In between 1980 and 1990, the NFL became an institution, and the Super Bowl averaged about 80 million viewers, and it was the start of the NFL franchisee.
The NFL Foundation, which is the central nonprofit organization associated with the NFL, and it dedicated itself to supporting some of the categories that you see here now. The NFL, by what we've seen, does truly work hard to build its reputation as a benevolent organization. Fast forward to today, and you can see here that the NFL is engaged to a copious amount of efforts. To name a few, NFL Green is the organization's big movement to promote going green and becoming eco-friendly. Inside Out, which yes, is spelled like that, is purpose to helping out student athletes. Crucial Catch sets out to help in the fight against cancer. There's also My Cause, My Cleats, which allows players to dedicate themselves to initiatives of their choice on their cleats, and then they auction those same cleats off and they give the proceeds to those causes. While the NFL may be doing a lot of good, they still do have their share of skeletons in the closet. This first ethical issue involves harassment and severe workplace hostility. Jonathan Martin found that his team, the Miami Dolphins, were unaccepting of him, and they began victimizing him too. The perpetrators included not only his teammates, but also an assistant trainer. Martin was humiliated and continuously berated. The perpetrators were also found to be texting him lewd descriptions about sexually assaulting his sister, and that really just scratches the surface of the things they said and did. Martin's mental health very quickly deteriorated, and when the Miami Dolphins caught wind of what was occurring, the perpetrators immediately began to receive punishments. But surprisingly, in the end, the NFL stepped in and even cleared the main perpetrator to be able to resume playing. The articles themselves don't exactly explain the NFL's reasoning here, but based off of the fact that neither of them reported anything on the backlash they received or the reasoning, it's hard to say that they received much backlash at all. Overall, this does not paint the NFL in a super great light. Their reaction is especially shocking with so much evidence being placed against the harassers. So, with little coverage, it seems like this ethical issue did not spur a lot of change.
So, the coronavirus is revealing football's human cost. This is an ethical issue. So, the coronavirus, or COVID 19, is a virus that came from China, from bats. Now, it has had a terrible effect on the world, as we know, because we are in a lockdown right now. The third wave is striking us fierce, and it's lasted for over a year and a bit now, I think. I have no idea. Anyway, the coronavirus has taken a toll on NFL players. Since COVID 19 has been prominent within the global community, NFL players have been given the option of playing and being at risk of COVID 19, or they can stay at home and make zero money. Not only this, but since players are in contact with each other, disease can spread easily and more efficiently due to players not wearing masks on the front line, and the physicality of the sport and contact. Some social issues are the concern for the players' health and income, and the effect that COVID 19 has on the company is that, of course, the company is making less money than they really could. However, I don't think they really care about their football stars, you know? As people are bored, first of all, people are bored. I don't think they will flame the NFL community and the NFL. Is they're bored. They have nothing to do. They want to watch football because football is a form of entertainment. It has zero effect on stakeholders, which is surprisingly shocking. And to be fair, it is way too early to determine if it will create a change. However, my guess is most likely not, as evident by people in Alberta. No one cares about the guidelines, and no one cares. They just want to get out and they want to watch their entertainment.
So today we outlined corporate social responsibility and analyzed how socially responsible the NFL is. With a lot of good the NFL has done for the community, the environment, and the marketplace, we also found that they are not entirely perfect. and that they have been involved in some ethical issues. The NFL has been releasing annual CSR reports since about 2014, with some of them being linked in the bibliography if you'd like to check them out. We hope this social audit will be of some use, and we thank you for listening. Over the course of the next few days, we'll try our best to respond to your questions. Thanks again.